Royal marriage tested. New insider claims about William and Kate shock fans. They look united. A modern royal marriage. Strong, calm, unbreakable. But insiders say something shifted. Something strained them behind closed doors. And what fans think they know may only be half the story. This is not about scandal. It is about pressure, and how even the strongest royal bond is tested in silence. From the outside, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, appear perfectly aligned. Public smiles, coordinated appearances, a shared sense of duty. For more than a decade, they have been presented as the monarchy's emotional anchor. But royal insiders have quietly hinted that recent years brought challenges no one was prepared for. Not betrayal, not collapse, but strain, the kind that doesn't explode, the kind that reshapes everything. The first signs were subtle. Changes in scheduling, fewer joint appearances, a noticeable seriousness in public moments that once felt light. Royal watchers noticed, fans speculated, but the palace said nothing. Because what was happening was not meant for headlines. Behind palace doors, William and Kate were navigating something far heavier than gossip. They were balancing three powerful forces at once: marriage, parenthood, and a monarchy in transition. The story truly begins with William. William has always carried more than his title. He carries memory, loss, responsibility, and an intense fear of repeating the past. His parents' marriage was lived in public and unraveled the same way. He promised himself that would never happen again. Kate understood that fear from the beginning. She didn't enter the royal family chasing attention. She entered it cautiously. She waited years before marriage. She accepted uncertainty because she needed assurance, not a crown. That foundation made their marriage strong. But strength does not make a relationship immune to pressure. When William became Prince of Wales, everything intensified. The role brought visibility, expectations, a sudden acceleration toward kingship. Every decision was now weighed as precedent. Every movement analyzed as future policy. Kate's role shifted too. She was no longer preparing. She was performing at the highest level, representing stability, grace, continuity, while raising three young children under relentless observation. Insiders say this period quietly tested their rhythm, not because of conflict between them, but because of how differently they process pressure. William internalizes. He retreats into responsibility. Kate absorbs, manages, and adapts. Over time, that imbalance can feel lonely on both sides. Friends noticed William becoming more serious, more guarded, carrying the weight of the institution on his shoulders. Kate became more deliberate, less spontaneous, carefully choosing her moments. Neither was wrong, but both were stretched. Then came the parenting factor. William and Kate are deeply committed to doing something different. They want their children emotionally grounded, protected, free from the trauma William endured. That commitment requires boundaries, and boundaries are not always welcomed by the palace. Insiders suggest there were tense conversations about access, about expectations, about how much visibility the children should have. William pushed back harder than expected. Kate supported him, but support does not mean ease. It means carrying shared consequences. Every time William says no to tradition, it creates friction. And friction has a cost. At home, that cost looks like exhaustion, shorter patience, quiet disagreements late at night when the children are asleep. This is where rumors often begin. Observers see distance and assume danger. But insiders say the reality is more complex. This was not a marriage breaking. It was a marriage adjusting. Still, adjustments can be painful. Kate faced her own pressures. Public expectation of perfection never eased. Every outfit, every expression, every absence was scrutinized. When she stepped back from some appearances, speculation surged. The palace framed it as routine. But those close to her say she was protecting her energy. And her family. That decision was not made lightly. Kate has always been the stabilizer. The quiet strength. Admitting limits felt unfamiliar, but necessary. William supported her, yet insiders say he struggled with guilt. Guilt that his role placed her under such strain. Guilt that the very institution he will one day lead demands so much from the person he loves most. That internal conflict weighs heavily. And then there is legacy. William is not just preparing to be king. He is preparing to redefine kingship. That ambition creates pressure within his marriage. Because change always demands sacrifice. And sacrifice is rarely equal. Kate's life has already changed irrevocably. William's is still evolving. This imbalance is not spoken publicly, but it is felt privately. Insiders describe moments of emotional recalibration, honest conversations, difficult acknowledgments, a recognition that love alone does not solve everything. It must be managed, protected, renewed. This is where the narrative shifts. The shock is not that their marriage was tested. It is that they chose to face the test quietly. No leaks, no dramatic statements, no public reassurance tours. Instead, they recalibrated behind closed doors. They adjusted schedules to prioritize family. They divided responsibilities more clearly. They allowed space without emotional withdrawal. This is not the behavior of a couple in crisis. It is the behavior of a couple doing the hard work. Fans expecting perfection may feel unsettled by this truth, but insiders see it as growth. Kate has become more assured in her role, less concerned with approval, more focused on impact. William has become more emotionally open within trusted circles, acknowledging strain instead of suppressing it. Their bond now looks different. Quieter, less performative, more intentional. Some interpret that as distance. Others recognize it as maturity. The palace, for its part, has adapted. They no longer present William and Kate as a flawless fairy tale. They present them as steady, reliable, human. That shift is deliberate, because the monarchy's future depends not on illusion, but resilience. The greatest test of their marriage was never scandal. It was sustainability. Can love survive duty without losing intimacy? Can partnership survive power without becoming transactional? Can family survive legacy without being consumed by it? Insiders suggest William and Kate are answering those questions daily. Not perfectly, but honestly. And perhaps that is what shocks fans the most. The realization that a strong marriage is not one that avoids strain. It is one that confronts it. Together.